8:45 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Romesh Peris and read by Mario Vijayavardhana. The headlines. The Prime Minister directs the Speaker towards continuing Parliament operations while adhering to health guidelines. The Leader of the Opposition says the SJB is moving towards a moderate political policy, giving priority to social democracy. Schools except in isolated areas in the Western Province to open tomorrow for students sitting for the O-level examination. An updated announcement on isolation orders. COVID-19 caseload tallies on the increase. The final rites of the late veteran journalist Edwin Aryadasa to be performed at the Boralla Public Cemetery tomorrow. In international news, the US urges China to stop pressing Taiwan. In sports cricket, run out of the final ball of the day can't undermine a masterful performance from England captain. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has directed the Speaker Mahinda Yapa Abeyewardena's attention towards continuing Parliament operations while adhering to health guidelines. The Premier met with the Speaker at his official residence this morning. The Prime Minister's office said a cordial discussion was also held between the Speaker and the Prime Minister pertaining to the Parliament convening on the 9th of February amidst the COVID-19 challenge. The Leader of the Opposition, Sajith Premadasa, says the Samagi Jana Balawega is moving towards a moderate political policy giving priorities to social democracy. MP Premadasa said the party's future plans are being implemented to bring developmental achievements of the new world to Sri Lanka. The opposition leader speaking at an event revealed through new policies it would allow free market forces to influence the country's wealth generation. In such an economy, the opposition leader said everyone will benefit when returns are generated through promoting entrepreneurship. The head of the National Operations Centre for the Prevention of the COVID-19 outbreak, the Army Commander General Shavendra Silva, has issued an updated announcement on the isolation status of several areas. Accordingly, the following areas were no longer under isolation since 6 p.m. this evening. The Nazirvatta area in the Vallavatta Police Division, in the Nittambua Police Division, the Varna Temple Road, the Kattota Road, and the entrance to the Bidramavatta areas in the Tiheria North and Tiheria East Grama Niladari divisions. In the Minuwangoda Police Division, the Gallalua East and the Gallalua West Grama Niladari divisions. Meanwhile, the following areas have been placed under isolation from 6 p.m. today. The Jumma Masjid Mavata, Bidra Mavata, Alutpara and the Akaragoda areas in the Gallalua area in the Minuwangoda Police Division. 423 more persons who contracted the novel coronavirus have recovered and have been discharged from hospitals, raising the number of recoveries in Sri Lanka to 49,684. 7,974 persons are currently receiving treatment for the coronavirus at 65 facilities across the country. 783 suspected COVID-19 cases are also under medical observation at present. Earlier, 349 individuals tested positive for COVID-19, increasing the number of infections in the country to 57,936. All 349 persons were linked to the Minuwangoda Paligoda COVID-19 cluster. Meanwhile, the Director General of Health Services confirmed 2 more coronavirus-related deaths today, raising the number to 280. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The final rites of the late veteran journalist Edwin Aryadasa will be performed at the Boralla Public Cemetery tomorrow. The remains are placed at a private parlour in Boralla between 10 a.m. and 3:30 p.m. tomorrow for the general public to pay their last respects. The funeral proceedings will be held under state patronage. On Friday, veteran journalist Kalakirthi Edwin Aryadasa passed away at the age of 98. He was a renowned media consultant, newspaper editor and author. Edwin Aryadasa initiated the study of mass communication at the higher education level in Sri Lanka and formulated the first syllabus of mass communication at the University of Kelaniya. He was also associated with the introduction of media studies at the Open University of Sri Lanka. The State Minister of Pharmaceutical Production, Supply and Regulation, Professor Channa Jayasumana, says that Sri Lanka's coronavirus vaccine drive is scheduled to commence from January 28th after receiving the first stock of vaccines on January 27th. State Minister Jayasumana said all 500,000 of these vaccines are donated. According to the State Minister, the vaccine will be first given to frontline healthcare workers, followed by the Triforces and police personnel. He added subsequently adults over the age of 60 years with non-communicable diseases will be given the priority next. The National Medicines Regulatory Authority has granted approval for the emergency use of the Oxford AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka will accordingly receive 500,000 vials of doses with the first batch of COVID-19 vaccines from India on January 27th. The Integrity Icon 2020 Awards organised by the Transparency International Sri Lanka honouring honesty in the public service was held at the BMICH in Colombo this evening. The Executive Director of TISL, Attorney at Law Nadishni Pereira, presided over the event. 100 nominees were selected according to a public vote island-wide and 5 candidates were shortlisted for the Honesty Award. The event was graced by the Commissioner of the Delimitation Boundary Commission and the former Elections Commissioner Mahinda Deshapriya. That's local news.
A mother knows the pain of each member of the family. Siddhalepa, the trusted relief for aches and pains.
An effective therapy for relief from cold, sneezing, flu, headaches, swelling due to toothaches, rheumatic, discomforts, and muscular aches and pains. Siddhalepa, the Veda Mahatmya in every home.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
The Education Minister Professor G.L. Pires says that the schools in the Western Province, except in the isolated police areas, will be reopened from tomorrow for the school children who will be sitting for the GCE O-level examination. He said the O-level examination will be held for 11 days from March 1st and a total number of 79,000 candidates will face the examination from the Western Province. He said the decision was taken to expedite their missed academic activities. Furthermore, the Ministry of Education says schools in the Western Province will be reopened for all grades, in addition to grade 11, prior to the 15th of February.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Brush your teeth twice a day for healthy teeth and gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, your trusted brands in oral care for many years.
Supiriviki Ayurvedic toothpaste for adults. Kakulu Ayurvedic toothpaste for kids. 9 Ayurvedic ingredients of Supiriviki will protect your teeth and strengthen your gums. Supiriviki and Kakulu, products from Siddhalepa.
And now in Watchlight, water in the Bolgoda River in the Kalutara district has been polluted as it flows in the Horethuduwa area since sawmill owners and illicit liquor brewers are releasing wood dust and goda and other waste to the river. Although Bolgoda is the largest natural lake in the country, the Central Environment Authority fails to monitor these sources polluting the water. The river water emanates an unbearable smell due to illicit liquor distillers releasing goda and chemicals to the water. Many varieties of fish and water lilies are vanishing from the river because of this reason. The residents of the area said that timber mill owners, tourist hotel owners and other companies adjoining the Bolgoda River are responsible for polluting the river. Social welfare societies and non-governmental organizations had conducted surveys and handed them over to the respective ministries in the past to no avail. They now urge the present Environment Minister to visit the area to witness the environmental disaster in and around the Bolgoda River and take immediate action to restore the massive environmental hazard in and around the river.
World News, brought to you by courtesy of
From the
the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
In world news headlines, the US urges China to stop pressing Taiwan. Cyclone Eloise brings floods to Mozambique's second city, Beira. 33 missing children found in anti-human trafficking operation in Southern California. The US Department of State has urged China to end its pressure against Taiwan. Department spokesperson Ned Price issued a statement indicating that China's military pressure on Taiwan is threatening regional peace and stability. The statement expresses concern about China's ongoing attempts to intimidate its neighbors, including Taiwan. It urges Beijing to cease its military, diplomatic and economic pressure against Taiwan and instead engage in meaningful dialogue with Taiwan's democratically elected representatives. Parts of central Mozambique have been flooded after Cyclone Eloise struck near the port city of Beira with wind speeds of up to 160 kilometers per hour. According to Mozambique's National Institute of Meteorology, Beira received 10 inches of rain in 24 hours. Local officials and aid agencies are assessing the scale of the damage so they can help those affected and trying to restore power and communications which were cut off in some areas. Residents of Beira, Mozambique's second city with a population of about 500,000, are trying to clean up as best as they can. The FBI's LA field office said in a statement that 33 missing children were recovered this month by the Bureau in an anti-human trafficking operation. The FBI said of the 33 children recovered during Operation Lost Angels, 8 were being sexually exploited at the time of their recovery. The operation began on the 11th of January. 2 children were recovered multiple times during the operation, the FBI said, noting it's not uncommon for rescued victims to return to commercial sex trafficking voluntarily or by force, fraud or coercion. The Bureau further stated that this harmful cycle highlights the challenges victims face and those faced by law enforcement when attempting to keep victims from returning to an abusive situation. And now the main points of the world news segment once again. The US urges China to stop pressing Taiwan. Cyclone Eloise brings floods to Mozambique's second city, Beira. 33 missing children found in anti-human trafficking operation in Southern California. That was World News.
World News. Brought to you by courtesy of...
From the first step you take till the time we meet, the trusted leader prioritizes you always.
All you need under one roof. People's Leasing, the trusted leader.
And now in development news, growing big onion has been restarted by the Agriculture Department in the Mathare district and 55,000 kilograms of onion bulbs were distributed among the farmers in this regard recently. The Dambulla Agriculture Office said over 5,500 kilograms of onion seeds will be gained this year and the amount will be increased in the next season. Farmers in Dambulla, Galevela, Naula and Makulgasweba received 31,000 onion seeds. Agriculture officials in the area said that the demand for big onions will be met soon. In sports, in cricket, run out of final ball of the day can't undermine a masterful performance from England captain. Joe Root hit a magnificent 186, but his dismissal from the final ball of the third day left Sri Lanka with a slight advantage in the second test in Galle. Root, who scored 228 in the first test, hauled his side to 339 for 9 before he was superbly run out by Oshada Fernando at short leg. The England captain helped his side recover from 132 for 4, closing 42 runs, adrift of Sri Lanka. Left-arm spinner Lasith Ambuldenniya took a remarkable 7 for 132 for the hosts. England lead the 2-test series 1. That was sports news, and now in business news, Ayurvi Valigama Theme Resorts and Spas property welcomed the first familiarization tour of the tourism restart. The German high-level delegation arrived early morning on the 22nd of January at the Bandaranaike International Airport. Upon arrival, they were transferred to Valigama in a biosecure bubble and had their PCR tests done at the hotel prior to check-in as per the health guidelines. During their tour to Sri Lanka, the delegation will visit Ayurveda hotels and attractions in a bid to promote Ayurveda in Sri Lanka to the German market, as well as provide confidence to all future travellers. That was business news.
Economic news, courtesy of
Congratulations on your promotion. When will be our treat, huh?
How about today?
Oh no, I was just joking.
It's fine. I have my LOLC credit card with me. Let's go out today.
Introducing LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
Headline inflation as measured by the year-on-year change of the National Consumer Price Index decreased to 4.6% in December 2020 from 5.2% in November 2020. This was due to the statistical effect of the high base which prevailed in December 2019. Meanwhile, food inflation year-on-year decreased to 7.5% in December 2020 from 9.4% in November 2020, whereas non-food inflation year-on-year increased to 2.2% in December 2020 from 1.7% in November 2020. The change in the NCPI measured on an annual average basis decreased marginally to 6.2% in December 2020 from 6.3% in November 2020.
Hello, Puta. Did you land already?
We're in transit and our flight got delayed.
How is Shani? Poor thing with her pregnancy.
Calm down, everything is sorted. Why, I have my LOLC World Card with me. We are at the VIP lounge. LOLC Finance Credit Cards. Fuel the goodness in you.
And now for the weather report. The Met Department forecasts that showers or thundershowers will occur at a few places in the Sabaragama province and in the Gala and Matara districts in the evening. Mainly fair weather will prevail over the other parts of the island. Misty conditions can be expected in the western, the central and the Sabaragama provinces during the morning. That was the weather report, and now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. The Prime Minister directs the Speaker towards continuing Parliament operations while adhering to health guidelines. The leader of the opposition says the SJB is moving towards a moderate political policy giving priority to social democracy. Schools except in isolated areas in the Western Province to open tomorrow for students sitting for the O-level examination. An updated announcement on isolation orders. COVID-19 caseload tallies on the increase. The final rites of the late veteran journalist Edwin Aryadas are to be performed at the Borella Public Cemetery tomorrow. In international news, the US urges China to stop pressing Taiwan. In sports cricket, run out of the final ball of the day can't undermine a masterful performance from England captain. That concludes this news broadcast.